Hello, everyone, and welcome back again to our weekly live talks. With us today, a wonderful guest. We've been trying for some time to invite her, so finally she's here. My name is Jacob Hauser. I'm a co-founder at Race and a neuro language coach. Today, we've got Pratishta. Pratishta is an author. She is an NLP master practitioner and a trainer. She's also a certified growth coach and many other things. We are going to ask you about all of them as we unfold this conversation. So thank you for accepting to be a guest, and we're really happy to have you here, Pratishta.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Thank you so much, Jacob. It's my pleasure to be on Race because this is one of my favorite places. I really love the concept of race, and I really liked how Beatrix came up with this and how everyone gathered and is giving it shape in a very high speed. So I really love this concept. So thank you so much for having me here.
Absolutely. We're really happy as well to have you. And, Race is a place, is a hub, as we say, and it's really a place for all you brilliant coaches and influencers from all around the world to join us and just we all trying to make a difference in the world. Pratishta, you can have the mic and the floor and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. So, about me, I'll tell you how I started. Before becoming a coach, I was working as a data science consultant in an MNC. And to everyone, it is the best job. You know, if you say everyone is saying data science, AI. And from day one of that job, I was always feeling this was not my place. And by the end of 6 years, I was very sure this is not my place. But I didn't know then what is my place. So everyone used to say, this is the future. And I would say, maybe, but this is not my future. And then I was introduced to my mentor on NLP.
Right.
And when I learned NLP, I realized the mistakes I have been making throughout my life that is causing so much anxiety and pain. And now it was coming to my health as well. So this is how my journey to become a coach started, because first person I treated with it was myself. So from being an over anxious person, not able to speak, always feeling underconfident, to gaining myself back, to becoming a person who is right now in front of you. It is a journey from last 2.5 years that I am going through. And in this journey, the best part is I'm able to meet great people. I'm able to provide support, and I've understood different ways of how life is working. So this is where I am coming from. And one thing I also understood is, whenever you have to do some course, like if you are doing engineering, you are told how to handle machines, how to handle computer or softwares. If you have to do an MBA, you are taught how to be how to handle businesses, but nobody is telling you how to handle your own life.
That's right.
So we end up becoming great entrepreneurs, businessmen, career-oriented people, and in our own life, we are literally living a miserable life at times. We don't know whom to ask for help, and that is where NLP and hypnotherapy, coaching, and all other modalities come in, and they help us discover ourselves.
Oh, that's that's absolutely on point. You said we do live we make quite successful careers in different traits of life, and then we look at ourselves and we're not really happy and satisfied with ourselves. And you mentioned another point, which is anxiety and well-being. So if I may just, push a little bit more on that. So how did you and how would someone really, focus and be a little bit careful not to fall into that anxiety trap, if I may say?
See, I think the anxiety trap is a big, like it is coming from a very long period of time. You don't become anxious in a day or two. It is a
Yeah,
result of the problems you have been facing from long, and you have learned that behavior that now I will feel anxious. This situation happens, now I will feel anxious. I feel
right.
anxiety is a learned behavior. When we were born, we were not born anxious, right?
No,
But as we
yeah,
grow up, everybody around us and all the things around us made us learn it bit by bit, and
yeah,
then we ended up becoming that anxious person who would get triggered at every small event. Oh, I have to
uh,
speak in front of someone, now I am anxious. Oh, I have to
uh,
message my boss, I am anxious. As a child, I have to tell my parents my marks, I am anxious. So I
right.
think anxiety has been a learned behavior, and to
Mhm,
unlearn it, it will take time, and it will require you to do things you have not done before.
right,
So for me, I have learned unlearned anxiety over a long period of time, and I'm still unlearning it. At times
right.
I do feel anxious, but now the only thing is I know I have to stop here and apply a certain technique which I have been taught.
Right.
For example, I use a lot of EFT, that is emotional freedom technique, which is for tapping. So I use a lot of EFT when I feel anxious. I am always trying to go to feed my mind with a positive thought, choose positivity over negativity. I have learned NLP and I'm applying it, I'm using it for my training, so I have anchored it for me. Every time I'm feeling anxious, I try to use those anchoring techniques so to get back in the state of resourcefulness. So this is something I my from my experience I'm sharing.
Oh, please do. We want to hear all about it. So, if I may go back, we might come back actually to this like topic of anxiety because it's quite crucial, important to all human beings.
Hmm.
But if I may move now to the topic of this talk, unleash the potential of your children. So, what can you tell us about this?
So for our children, most of the parents, like I told you about how we are navigating through life. We were taught how to handle machines, businesses, but not our life. So it started from childhood. So as a child, whenever you are making a mistake and a parent or a teacher starts saying to you, "Oh, you are not good in this. You will never be able to do this." For example, maths is not for you. Maybe something else is for you. So you are putting those beliefs in the child, and
Yeah,
we are telling the child what to do always. For example, we are telling them to concentrate, to focus. Okay,
right.
so the child after sometimes feels, why are they telling me to focus? They are not telling me how to focus. So
Right.
it's not about telling the child what to do, it's about also telling them how to do it. But we at times take these things for granted, or maybe because we don't ourselves know how to focus, we are just telling focus on your studies, focus on your, if you are playing a sport, focus on the sports, but that is not enough. And then when the child fails to focus, we categorize them, we put them in boxes. You are like this, you are like that.
Yeah,
To unleash the child's potential, you have to be with the child, you have to be more than what you are doing right now. Instead of telling them just to focus, we have to tell them how to focus.
uh,
Instead of just telling them don't watch TV, you have to show them how to not watch TV or get into their mobiles. You have to show them, and that is how you start unleashing their potential. Because I think all children are gifted. We in some way or the other, but we are putting them in boxes, and we are
yeah.
not seeing what they are actually for.
That's really interesting because to unleash the potential, show people the doing process rather than just being the preacher there. And being being and coming from neuro language background, and studying a little bit about neuroscience, it's all about the doing brain, the brain that does the things rather than just the telling the brain what to do. So I do absolutely agree with all that. All right, we've got with us here Martin is an old friend of ours. So he's saying that that's a nice distinction. Focus on the process rather than the outcome. And actually, we in at schools and parents as well. And probably I should ask you this, Pratishta. What is the reason that instead of us focusing on showing people how to do, how to like we tell our children, for example, study and pass and be successful and achieve and but what is the reason that we tell people do things rather than show people how to do things?
So there can be different reasons, but one reason can be that they don't know themselves how to focus. They were told this by their parents, and then they studied at the last moment and passed the exams, or they studied throughout and they used something that they could understand, but they didn't knew the exact science behind it, how
Yeah,
exactly they can focus. And that is what they are giving to their children. That is one thing that comes to my mind when I'm dealing with clients also, that they are not they don't know themselves. If I tell them how to focus, then I tell them, okay, use these techniques, and suddenly they get a light bulb moment. Okay, yeah, this is so simple, but it never clicked. How
uh,
we can improve the sensory equity of the children, means how we can improve their visual senses, their auditory, the kinesthetic, the gustatory. So for every person I'm saying, because I know you know it, but a lot of people here who are listening to me are not aware what I'm talking about, may not be. So for them, we don't know the small games we can play with the children and make them more aware of what is happening in the environment. We don't know how to make them feel more associated with the books that are there. So if we
uh,
learn those techniques, we will be able to direct them, we will be able to give them the tools, and not
yeah,
only give them the motivation. Because for me, I think motivation doesn't work at all. It is only for a very very small moment that you can be motivated, but in the long run it takes much more to execute things.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You've mentioned as well with when we're talking about unleashing potential of children, that we do put children in boxes.
Hmm.
I'd like to hear a little bit more about this.
So when we are small, at the very moment the teachers and the people around us start saying this child is like this. I'll give you example of my niece. She's she was just 3 or 4. She was going to her play school, and they were teaching her how to swim. And the teacher, there was one more small child with her who was learning swimming, and they had called us to attend this session of hers. So
Mhm.
during the session, the teacher gave everyone some feedback. So to the boy's mother, the boy was swimming quite nicely. So to the boy's mother,
Mhm.
went and said, "Your child is a genius. He will be a very good swimmer. Just put them in swimming." And
Mhm.
to my niece, she came and said, she might not be that good at swimming. Maybe you can try some other activities. And I was thinking, like, she is a magician, because my niece is just 3 and she has determined she can never be a good swimmer. With all due respect, it
Yeah,
can be more than what you see with your eyes. It may be
absolutely.
because the child has parents who regularly go to swimming, or they are regularly taking him to the swimming pool. So he is much better than my niece who has never been to a swimming pool before.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? So at the age of 3 or 3.5, if you're put in a box and you are told this by the teacher, this is where it starts. And it is my personal experience as well. Like when I was a child, the teacher would always put me, she would write in front of my name, she is very diligent. And I was like, I'm working hard, but I am also smart worker. I don't put me as a hard worker every single time. But then everybody starts around me would say she is very diligent. Okay, I
Yeah,
am diligent, but I am much more than that. So
absolutely.
this is how you are put in boxes every single time, and you are robbed of opportunities you could have got. Because for
Uh,
my teacher, she would have never given me an opportunity to speak on the stage. For me, for her, I would be the worst person to put on stage and talk, because I was in a box where this girl will not be able to speak in front of people.
Yeah, no, you're right. And by doing so, I think we as well, we miss a lot of potential in our children, learners, students, you name it, only by having that fixed mentality that, all right, this is
Mm,
your box, and
mm.
just stick to it to God knows, till when. Now, here's the probably a bigger question related to it. What is the reason then we find it, like, all right, this is, you are there. You get to that box, and then we label it, and then we move to the next learner or child, and so on.
I think the teachers also need to know how they can unbox the children and let them, because there are some great teachers. There are few teachers who would tell you you are more than your limits. For example, my mentor, he said to me, you can do whatever you want. You just need to get started. Even at
Yeah,
the age of 30 years, you can do that. It is not a matter of age. It is a matter of your will.
yeah.
So uh, that belief is lacking. I've seen many people who say, who appreciate people who criticize them, and take for granted people who appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you appreciate someone, at times I
Yeah,
see a lot of people thinking you are trying to just butter them. Do you are try like I would know, I don't know how to use a better word to it, but they would think that you are flattering them for some purpose. And the
mm,
person who will criticize you, there are so many people who will take that criticism very positively, and take it not positively, I will say they will accept that, yes, this
yeah.
person is criticizing, this person is showing me the true face. This
Uh-huh.
is what, because this is what we have doing since childhood. The teacher would say on the face, you are not good enough. But
Yeah.
then there is a concept of Pygmalion in the classroom. There is a book called Pygmalion in the Classroom, which
Mm-hmm.
tells, which shows that there were children in the classroom who were not doing very well, but then they were constantly told for a regular period of time, you are good, you are better, you are doing good. And with a period of time, they could see a drastic improvement in their performance. That faith is lacking. I see that faith is not there, that this child may have something I'm not able to see. So I think that is what is, and I think the education system right now needs a lot of repairing. I'm happy to say that the Indian government has started making some improvement in it. There is some change in the education system right now, but I think there is still a lot of work to be done to get there where every child is able to do what they are good at, to find their dreams, their passions.
No, absolutely. I think, well, it's good. It's that's quite promising, and to hear that certain government or educational systems are really taking in the idea of change. And and then I do, echo what you said about when we tell people that you can do, and then actually the brain does that, and for the brain, reality and imagination are really close, if not the same. So telling people that you can do. you might unlock, a lot of potential in them, and then they can really do it. And here is Martin again. Thank you, Martin. He's always there, really sharing. So is that's the what you've just mentioned,
Yes,
Pratisha.
this is
I was going to
okay.
ask you to share
Yeah,
it,
this is
but here is and jump in. Thank you so much, Martin. Really, thank you for
thank
that.
you so much, Martin.
Yeah. And Pratisha, you deliver a lot of courses.
Hmm.
So on either website or platforms, your website. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about this?
Yes, so I deliver a lot of courses. One of the courses for students that is available on my website as well as Udemy is Vedic Maths. Introduction to Vedic Maths. It is free, the introduction course, where I'm telling students how they can do maths easily, because the students I have met, the most common issue with them is they are scared of the word maths. The moment you say the word maths, it's like danger to them. But I think
Yeah.
maths is a very easy and simple subject, provided you understand the logic and you apply some tricks. So Vedic
Mhm.
maths is coming from the ancient Indian techniques, and it makes maths very easy. For example, if I tell you, you can multiply triple nine into 998 within a matter of seconds, you might feel I'm lying, but it's on my website and you can check it
Oh,
out there. You can do that. It's a very very simple trick. it's a
right.
it's a it's a matter of thinking unconventionally. It's the unconventional way of doing math. Also, I was taking courses earlier on memory
Uh-huh.
improvement, where I'm telling them how to focus, how to concentrate, and not just focus and concentrate. So how to do that? So I was doing that course. Currently I'm
Right.
working on a course of growth mastery, where I'm helping adults find their purpose, find their goals, not goals only, outcomes, create outcomes,
Mhm.
and adapt more of self-love, how to love oneself, because I think self-love and compassion is something which a lot of us are lacking. We fail to appreciate our own self for doing so much effort for
Mhm.
surviving till date, but
Abs-
we and that stops us from doing a lot of things. So we complain, we are procrastinating,
yeah.
we are not able to achieve the goals, or we feel stuck, because
Yeah.
the problem seems bigger than us. So whenever we are feeling stuck, it's mainly because our self image has become smaller, and I think the
Oh.
problem becomes much bigger than us. So we feel stuck. The moment you feel that you are bigger than your problems, you will start finding for a breakthrough, because
Right.
the question remains a question till you find the answer. And if you have a question, you have to get an answer. Somebody has your answers.
Uh-huh.
So
Absolutely.
I hope I'm not complicating it. I'm trying to put it as simply as I can.
Well, when you mentioned maths, probably some of us probably run away or got, start daydreaming.
Yeah.
Well, that's absolutely fine. Well, we've got your website here on the screen for the audience if they like to, go there and probably take a look. Um, and then Martin is saying as well, this guy is maths teacher, not Vedic maths. So probably Martin probably loves maths, so you two
Awesome.
can do all the mathematics wonders together. Um, I've got a question probably from Martin. Let's share this. Is children's potential leashed from the start? I don't think so. He's carrying on. Maybe we need to consider not leashing it, but nurturing it, certainly, and directing it, maybe. What do you think, Pratishtha?
Um, that's a really good question, and uh, I'm thinking aloud that I think yes, you are right that we have to nurture it. We have to make them find their own areas of growth, and uh, we have to teach them techniques, different unconventional ways of learning every time. Even there are courses which can help the children at starting from a young age of 4.5 years, where they can start learning doing maths, not just learning maths but doing maths. There is a technique of abacus which is taught worldwide. So starting from there, you start unleashing their potential of doing maths. You nurture them in different ways. You start early. The earlier you start, the better it is. uh, so I think that's what I would like to say, that the earlier you start helping them, nurturing them, and not just criticizing them, telling them what they can't do, or just
Mhm.
telling them what they should be doing. Instead of that, you nurture them in a way where they find themselves. That would be a great parenting.
Yeah.
Does this
You
answer
know,
you?
yeah. So Martin, let us know if that answers your question. Otherwise, you're always welcome to jump in the chat box. Actually, you're right. This is really a great question because we could probably go on this particular topic for
Hmm.
hours. So
Right.
maybe it's time for that. I'd love really, and this is maybe on, if I may say here, we'd love to have you once, twice, three, over and over, Pratishta, because apparently these topics are not going to be discussed in just a matter of 30 minutes, which is, times is almost up. So, as we always say, it always flies by when you're having fun.
Thank
Um,
you so much, Jacob. I will be really, really happy to be stay connected with Race, and I'm always a part of Race only. I always tell Beatrix, if there is anything I can contribute, I'm more than happy, because I think this is something. If this concept of coaching in education is spread worldwide, I think it is going to be a game changer.
yeah,
It can help a lot of students not get lost, and then at age 30 or 40 or 45
yeah,
finding themselves again.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So, as we're reaching the end, could you please tell us a little bit more about Growth Coach? That's kind of interesting name.
Sure. So, growth coach is about following the grow model, which is setting up goals, then making them reality, then going with options and the willingness of the individual. So, you are holding the individual accountable for their actions every time. So, when I'm doing a coaching, I'm helping them find their goals, and then working on them and keeping them accountable, because accountability is very important.
Yeah,
And my work goes beyond just goals. When I'm saying growth, I'm
yeah,
helping them also find their purpose, find their values, because I think purpose and values, they already lie within us. We have to find them. So I help
yeah,
them find their purpose and values, and get more clarity on the direction they are going to take in their life
yeah,
for their goals, because direction is also a very important component of staying happy and growing.
absolutely.
So this entire growth the role of a growth coach is to help you go in the right direction towards your purpose, towards your values, and feel happy. And one thing, I think, as Tony Robbins has said, growth and contribution are the need of the spirit. But many times we get busy in the other things of our lives. But when we get other things, what else we need growth and contribution. So at that time, when you're looking for growth and contribution, how will you grow, which direction you need to move now? So that is how a growth coach can help you get that clarity.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Jenny here, in my opinion, a lot of times they get leashed after on. in life, after all, in life, because parents or educators limit themselves based on their own life's experience and conditioning. And this is pretty much what you've been saying, Pratishtha. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Look at
Yeah.
the time. So before we say goodbye to our beloved audience and our beloved guest, Pratishtha, one last word to us, to the whole world.
So one last word would be a quote that I really believe in. In life, you will meet two types of people. One would say you can do it, and other would say you can't do it. Whom you believe determine where you reach in your life. So believe in the people who say you can do it. So that is the addition I'm doing. Because uh, that has been a game changer for me, and I hope you achieve all the success you are looking for, and also help your children achieve the success that they deserve.
Thank you so very much. Well, you've had it, audience, Pratishtha. You've been great and brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jacob. And one last thing would race is a wonderful platform, and I would like more and more people to join it. And I would love to be a part of it, continue being a part of it.
You are.
So I'll meet you again for sure. Until then, stay awesome and stay blessed. Thank you.
Absolutely. God bless. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.